It's a new fight with the same arguments, pitting safety against savings.
They got a clear picture of the front of the car, no front tag, so it doesn't help.
Now, an unsolved hit skip is reviving the front plate debate.
They are one of the most frequent crimes in Cleveland.
And also one of the most challenging to solve. In fact, our recent News 5 investigation, Hit Skipped, found Cleveland police located the vehicle in only 18% of hit and run cases between January of 2020 and June of 2022.
Wow, now some say a change in state law has made solving those crimes and others even more difficult. It's been more than 2 years since Ohio drivers were no longer required to have that front license plate.
And as News 5's Jordan Vandenberg found out, the impacts of that decision continue to be felt as we go in depth tonight.
Saturday, October 29th, an 18-year-old woman is crossing Broadview Road in Old Brooklyn on her way to a sleepover. It turned into a hospital visit. The driver of a Toyota Corolla inexplicably sends the woman airborne and drives off. Despite surveillance cameras catching the incident and the driver's escape, the cameras couldn't clearly catch the plate number because there wasn't one on the front.
I think it was just terrible for law enforcement. It was something that we lobbied against down in Columbus when it came about. It's just such a valuable tool to have that.
Snuck into the state's transportation budget back in 2019, the elimination of the front plate requirement drew the ire of law enforcement back then, and it continues to now. Proponents argue that a front plate ruins the car's aesthetic, and it interferes with sensors and other tech in modern vehicles. However, 30 states still require a front plate.
There was a hit and run next to me the other day, and it would have been beneficial if they had the front license plate. I would have been able to help the lady out who got hit.
That's a perfect example, and you know, some poor victim now has no opportunity to have their bills paid, no ability to be compensated for something that they had absolutely no part of.
The removal of the front plate requirement has saved the state of Ohio more than $1 million a year because they don't have to print as many plates. But Wolski wonders if that change has come at a bigger cost.
We have fatal accidents all the time that are hit skips, and the only thing a person saw was maybe the front license plate, and now you don't have that anymore. And it's just not good for the motoring public. It's not a good safety thing, and it's just something that's a valuable law enforcement tool.
Especially in this area in Cleveland, there's a lot of hit and runs where they'll catch maybe the front part of the car or the side, and you can't catch the people because you don't see their license plate.
Reverting back to the front plate requirement would require a change in state law, and Wolski believes it's not too late to undo what's been done.
I think that people need to go back to the legislators and tell these people, look, this is what we want. This is a public safety issue.
In Cleveland, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.
And we went deeper. Ohio was one of 20 states that no longer require that front license plate. And you can see on this map, none of our neighboring states require them either. Now, it wasn't just law enforcement fighting to save the front license plates in our state. School leaders and bus drivers also wanted them to stick around, arguing that losing that front plate would make it harder for them to catch the growing number of drivers illegally passing stopped school buses. The state crunched the numbers and found getting rid of the front license plates would save Ohio $1.4 million, while local governments would lose between $120,000 and $240,000 a year in fines and court costs.